Be ready. Start. NDMA addict to government scientists on not talking about Josimat will help no one, including government. The National Disaster Management Authority has instructed government institutions and officials to avoid interacting with media or share information on social media about land subsidence in Josimat. The gag order will be enforced till the final report of NDMA's expert group is submitted. The immediate trigger for the gag order appears to be a satellite report of ISRO that indicates subsidence of about 9 centimeter in 7 months. NDMA should rethink its decision. A gag order won't stop the flow of bad news if that is NDMA's motive, but it may affect intelligent opinion building that needs a free flow of authentic information. The situation in the region is evolving with cracks in both the ground and buildings being reported daily. Public speculation on probable causes and on fresh incidents of land subsidence is inevitable. The information vacuum left by the government will be filled by sources that may often be dubious. Granted, NDMA's expert committee's conclusion will come after a thorough examination of the situation. However, with Josimat residents' anxieties running high, periodic communication by scientific bodies is necessary. Also, satellite pictures of the region are not limited to ISRO's, and plenty of foreign scientists are working on the Josimat subsidence. Global experience of COVID hammered home the lesson that scientific collaboration is the best way to diagnose a problem and find a solution. Stringent restrictions on the information flow is self defeating. Governments at all levels in India need to encourage their institutions to collaborate with scientists in the private sector and in foreign institutions. A bigger pool of experts analyzing a subject is more likely to come up with useful insights. NDMA's gag order is the second such Sarkari instance in the recent past. A few weeks back, ICAR issued a similar one for GM mustard. Debates and disagreements are intrinsic to science. They expand the boundaries of knowledge. Official attempts to curb information and debate trigger suspicion. In addition, a culture of doing little also delays recognition of problems. Josimat's land subsidence, which even official studies noted decades ago, is an example. More Western arms for Kiev will not make Putin end the war. Ask who gains most as conflict goes on. Britain has said that it will supply Ukraine with tanks, another surefire way to intensify the conflict this spring. Kyiv's Western allies had so far held off on supplying West-made main battle tanks. Now Finland and Poland are set to join Britain by supplying Ukraine with German-made Leopard tanks provided Berlin agrees. And US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin is hosting Allied defense chiefs this week, a meeting expected to see major new announcements of weapons for Ukraine. Yes, Russia's invasion of Ukraine is unconscionable. But Kiev's Western backers seem to be loving the war instead of working for peace. Europe and the world will, of course, suffer more economically if the war gets nastier. Large parts of Europe are already facing negative or little economic growth, while the IMF has forecast another tough year for the global economy. And Europe's determination to wean itself of Russian energy is hurting many parts of the global south as fuel supplies get diverted, also pushing up prices. Plus, it is telling that the US has been by far the largest supplier of military weapons to Ukraine, providing $18.5 billion worth of equipment till November 2022. Data from Kiel Institute for World Economy. This means billions of dollars of fresh contracts for American arms makers to replenish stockpiles, with the US already accounting for 40% of the world's weapons exports and its Congress approving a huge $858 billion defense budget for this year, which includes specific provisions for Ukraine. The American defense industry is probably loving the war most. One should read this in the context of unhelpful rhetoric from the US and its allies that Russia must lose this war. The plain fact is this conflict won't end well if the aim is to humiliate Putin. Backed to a corner, he may respond in the worst way. The West's focus ought to be on getting to a stage where peace negotiations are possible. It should work with India and China on this. Tanks for Ukraine won't bring peace in Ukraine.